Hey, all my fantasy football friends out there, welcome to the Multiple First channel. This is Tony and Greg coming at you with another episode on our Real-Time Dynasty process. This here is the rookie draft associated with the Dynasty 24/7 365 league that we have been breaking down step by step along the way. This rookie draft just concluded within, I don't know, a day or so of us recording the video here. And boy, this thing burned through quickly, man. This was from Brees Hall down to Danny Gray. This whole draft process took like less than 48 hours. I feel like real smooth.
It flew. It flew. Yeah, and I thought we did very well. We didn't end up making any trades. We sat and picked, and I think did what we thought we were going to do, which was hit the strength of this draft, which is the wide receiver class. And we took a bunch of injury away running backs in the startup draft. And I think we really set ourselves up with a good core of young wide receivers in this year's draft with our picks, and it's going to help us next year when the young running back class and quarterback class comes through in 2023, and we're sitting on those five first round picks.
We have two really stable QB options right now in Fields and Josh Allen. I mean, Fields may not be as stable depending on who you ask. Me and Greg both really like Fields and think he has a bright future. But with those future picks, we could probably get a quarterback or two, and then a pretty nice bite from the big time RBs coming out next season. But looking at the draft in front of us, this thing comes down: Brees, Drake, Walker, Burks, Wilson, J-Mo, pretty standard. Kenny Pickett falls into the 8 hole. James Cook goes at 109. A little early for me there on that, but very happy to be the recipient of George Pickens at the 110 hole. I know me and Greg are both big fans of Pickens. Go ahead and cheese about him for a little bit.
I mean, he is big, tall, long. Wins at the catch point. Makes big plays down the field. Breaks tackles. Plays with attitude.
Plays with attitude. I'll underline that for the listener at home. Pickens plays with a lot of attitude.
He's very young. He's very young. He's only 21. He is a day 2 pick, second round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have had tremendous luck with those picks in recent years. They've got an unsettled wide receiver room. We took him over Sky Moore. I know a lot of people are going to hate that.
Yep.
And I acknowledge that it maybe doesn't help us as much this year. We did partner him with Chase Claypool, right? So I think you're going to get one, if not two, startable pieces out of that pair. But I just think the ceiling with Pickens, wide receiver 1 overall, is in the possibilities with his general profile as a big dominant X receiver on the outside for a franchise that, even though they have some quarterback limitations, they always seem to get it done.
Yeah, you're talking Deontay could walk. Claypool could be traded. I mean, he seems like kind of for the long term the safest option among Pittsburgh receivers, just because the security that comes with that rookie deal that he's sitting on now. Yeah, I love Pickens, and kind of rooting for a Claypool trade at this point. There'd be a bit of a mitosis if where targets would open up for Pickens and Claypool would hopefully go to like a Green Bay or somewhere where he gets more valuable. So they're kind of handcuffing each other now, and then could stand to see a big value explosion potentially.
You were reading my mind. I would love to see Claypool go to Green Bay.
Yeah, right. That would be such a good fit.
Yeah. So then Christian Watson, Sky Moore finish out the first round, and after the turn, we got Dameon Pierce and Isaiah Spiller. So we're 5 running backs in before our second pick here. And to you and I know this guy's been going in this range, but to you and I, this is a great value.
Tremendous value.
Jahan Dotson at 203. He went in the top half of the first round. Washington has a number 1 receiver who is going into his contract year, asking for a new deal, has not gotten it. Dotson we have every reason to think Dotson is going to play soon, and he has some traits that look like a really dependable um, wide receiver 2-3 for a long time to me. And with that draft capital, maybe we're a little wrong. Maybe he's even got some wide receiver 1 ceiling. I just think follow the draft capital. He was a really good profile coming into the draft. Um, and don't stress about the fact that people don't love Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was fine for Michael Pittman last year.
Hey, tale as old as time with some of these receivers. If you can get a first round NFL pick wide receiver in your second rookie round, you should probably jump all over that. I mean, just ask Justin Jefferson and Brandon
Mm.
Ayuk owners. They've hit nicely in value. I've seen Jefferson. I saw Jefferson go at the 2.1 of a lot of drafts his rookie season.
And top half of the first round too, I
Yeah,
might
right.
add.
He was what
Right? Like
pick
this is 15, 16.
15th? Yeah, yeah, right up there. Um, but Malik Willis, Rashad White, Desmond Ritter go after this. A little early for me and Greg each on the quarterbacks here. Rashad White, I think that's a fair area for him. David Bell and Alec Pierce, they kind of slipped down a little bit. Mechie, Zamir White, Corral, keep seeing him go in this 211, 212 area. Tyler
Mm.
Algier at the 212 could be one of the best values of this whole rookie draft in front of us. That may be a steal of Algier right there. Tolbert, McBride, Wandale Robinson, Tyrion. Then we get this little running back mini tier of Davis Price, Haskins, and Robinson. I was thinking about trading up into this area to grab one of these guys. How would have you felt? Was that on your mind as well?
Uh, yeah, I would have loved to have gotten up into that area for that group of guys. I like all of them. Um, I was hoping one would fall to us, though.
Same.
Honestly, Haskins in particular
Hmm.
was a guy I was hoping would get down to us. Um, but I ended up feeling very good about what did come to us, and that was Tyquan Thornton, the Patriots' second round selection at 50th overall. We're getting him at the 310, so that's the 34th rookie pick here.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yep.
I don't know how you can let a guy who had top 50 draft capital go that low. He's got a tremendous athletic profile. If it, if Green Bay had taken him in the 4th round, the Sharps would be taking him in the 3rd round of your rookie draft and being like, this guy's got a great athletic profile and he's got a ceiling, you know. But because he went to New England and he went higher than he was supposed to go, people start hating on him, and you're able to get him at a place where, if he busts, you just cut him like Tutu Atwell. But why not him as the most explosive receiving option in that very mediocre passing offense? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, I think that gets overlooked with Thornton and him getting faded. Is okay. You can hate on Belichick's picks, certainly. You can think it's a low volume passing offense. It's not, but you can think that, I suppose. But and you can say, oh, I don't know who this guy is. But the nuts and bolts. I mean, look at the receivers ahead of him on the depth chart. I mean, Jacoby Myers, Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne. Really nothing special there at all. Thornton could establish himself as the number one receiver on this team if he is what Bill Belichick thinks he can be. And in general in football, I want to be on Bill Belichick's side and not betting against him. I don't know about you guys.
sure, yeah, and if he can even get up to the number 2 spot, even if he needs an injury to get there, he could have a big week and you see your value spike, and then you have the option. Do you like what you see and you want to ride it out, or do you want to pivot out into another asset? Maybe maybe he has a game where he's a wide receiver 1 on the back of 2 long catches and 1 touchdown, right? And all of a sudden you're turning your 310 in a weak class into a second round in a strong class.
Yeah, well, very well stated. It just just to keep hammering this point home, think about what the 310 is worth. Think about a month ago, if you what your 310 could have bought you in a league. Basically nothing. If you could flip your 22 310 for a 23 third, you would have been lucky to be able to do that. So we get a top 50 player. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Uh, Pierre Strong goes to the next pick. Justin Ross at 312. What's your temperature on Justin Ross this season? I'm curious.
I'll let someone else find out.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Kyron Williams, Kevin Harris, and then Greg and I jump on Jelani Woods at the 4.3. Only two tight ends get drafted. This is not a tight end premium. Is not. This is just straight
No.
PPR for everybody.
Greg Dulcich goes 411.
Yeah,
Three,
so I'm
three
saying
get drafted.
three tight ends get drafted in the whole process,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You in like tight end premium, you'll usually see like the Bellingers and Ruckerts, and usually those guys will get drafted as well. But
Otten.
yeah, Otten. Yep, yep. Um, But we jump on Jelani Woods at the 4-3. This is a player Greg and I both really like the talent profile on this guy, the athletic profile. I mean, he's 6'7", 250, and he could pretty much not only jump out of the gym, but he could probably jump over the whole school, potentially, or the whole field, whatever you want to call it. Love him in a Colts uniform. Matt Ryan, going to be able to lean on this guy. You know, all arrows pointing upwards for Jelani Woods, and to get him at the 4.3 feels very good to me. What other players are on your
Yeah.
mind in this area?
Uh, Romeo Dubs and Velus Jones are the two who were appealing to me. I think Velus Jones is being overfaded. He got third round draft capital, and he's going to a team that needs a second wide receiver. I don't think Mooney and Komet are a terrible pair for Fields, but he needs a third one. And it's either going to be Byron Pringle or it's going to be Velus Jones. And if Velus Jones can't beat out Byron Pringle, he's 25 years old already, then you just cut him for the 403. But like if he can, then you've got immediate, bye week filled value, and you can sell the upside a little bit. And the opportunity is as good as he makes of it. So he's a guy. And then Romeo Dubs, he's a pretty appealing athletic prospect who went with decent capital to Green Bay, and who knows what happens in Green Bay. So those guys were appealing because it's a no tight end premium league.
Yeah.
But Jelani Woods it has impact maker upside, I think. So I was willing to pull the trigger there.
Yeah, he has if he hits his ceiling, Johnny Woods, he could be Darren Waller. He could be even better. That's what I'm saying. In at peak performance, everything going very well, he could be that.
He has
Be
some
that guy.
gronkiness to him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He has that's some parts of him remind me of Gronk.
Sure.
Yeah.
But as a whole board, rounds 1 through 4, any picks stand out to you as being super reaches? Any picks being like, wow, that's a great value? What's your temperature on this rookie board here?
Yeah, David Bell is a very good value at 2.7. I think Jalen Tolbert is going to end up making people happy at that 301 value.
I agree. Yep.
And honestly, I do think Tyquan Thornton always stands out as a value to me, and I'm glad we got him.
Yes,
yeah, and so those would be some of the ones I'll say.
I mean, I don't want to get negative. I don't want to call anyone out, but does anything jump out to you as a reach? I mean, maybe Malik. I guess like non-quarterback reaches. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty all the way out on all the quarterbacks in this draft. James Cook at 109 is, I think, really all Cook, and then Pierce at 201 and Spiller at 202 with Dotson and Bell still on the board felt rough to me a little bit.
Yeah, Sam.
But
Yeah.
a lot of people do that, so I don't. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think day 3 running backs over wide receiver with first round, top half of the first round draft capital is like, yeah, there's upside because running backs have bigger upside in some sense, but That's not the smart, safe money.
Certainly. Yeah.
So that would be my pick. What about you? What do you think? What is the favorite pick for you anywhere on this board?
Yeah, I think if you can get Kenny Pickett at the 1-8 in your draft, if you're getting him in the 8, 9, 10, I mean, I know that's where he's going pretty commonly, but I still think it's a great value. I personally take him around 6. So you're getting a nice Pittsburgh Steelers, likely starting quarterback very soon. Um, in the second half of your dynasty rookie draft, that's pretty sweet. Um, you know, Spiller's a bit of a reach for me also. I think I'd rather have the Dotson, the Bell, maybe the Rashad over Spiller. So a little early for me on him for sure. Um, I think Trey McBride's a good value in that spot. I'm just kind of looking down the board. I think Algier, like I said, was a steal. Tyrion Davis Price it looks like a steal to me at the 3.4. Sam Howell at the 3.8, like that's a real call your shot. You really got to think he's gonna do it, or really just hate Carson Wentz or something. Um, you know, I I I don't want to kind of throw a pick in the garbage on Sam Howell. Sorry, just to put it bluntly, give me another running back shot instead of taking him. I love Romeo Dubs at the 4-4. We really wrestled with Dubs and Woods in that 3-4 spot, but the potential upside on Dubs in the fourth round is pretty impressive.
Yes.
Carson Strong, I think he should just not be drafted at all in a 4-round rookie draft. But I'm not going to call any pick in the fourth round bad. It's just get your guys at that point. Um, but I could name I could very easily name 50 rookies I'd rather have than Carson Strong on my dynasty team. So he's a
All
fifth round
things
pick to me.
considered, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the rookie draft. That's 24/7 365 dynasty. We're going to be keeping tabs on this particular league as we move throughout the season, as things develop. Maybe we make some trades. Who knows what happens with this thing? What we should do is real quick. They're going to open the waiver wire here soon. Is there anyone on the wire you're trying to target right now? I don't know if you've looked through it at all.
Yeah. Uh, Daniel Bellinger was a guy that
Yeah, he jumped out to me.
I'm interested in. Kate Otten too.
Where you at on Abram Smith?
Abram Smith, Kennedy Brooks are all guys I like. I think Abram Smith and Kennedy Brooks both have a chance. We also have Miles Sanders.
Yeah,
So that
so
might
we
be
probably
a.
want Brooks as a high prio.
Oh, you know what? Here's the guy I would have maybe as my number one here. Kyle Phillips.
Talk to me about him. I don't know much about this player.
Kyle Phillips, 5'11", 189 wide receiver out of UCLA, fifth round pick to the Tennessee Titans, and classic little slot receiver. But the word is got a chance to be the slot receiver day one, year one, week one.
Is this guy displacing all of my Nick Westbrook-Akina shares? Is that what's happening?
He's not a slot guy. He's not a slot guy, but
Sure.
yes.
But
But
yes.
also yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jerome Ford is another guy. You're a Browns fan, but so yeah, I would have Phillips, Ford, Abram Smith, Kennedy Brooks, Bellinger, and Otten.
Does Rucker
As
get in there at all?
yeah, Rucker after that. But like this is a one tight end league. The thing I like about Bellinger and Otten is that they can play as rookies, right? And then if they don't, you cut them. These are not guys in this format that you're developing over time, right? Yep. But we got Ricky Seals Jones, you get Daniel Bellinger, then it's like, well, whoever the Giants roll out this week, you can plug in if your guy, you end up with a buy in and injury on the guys ahead of him, right? So, and then he's providing some depth for your team. And maybe you get an opportunity to see if he's any good. And if he is, then his value can go up and he can earn a roster spot for you next year. Otherwise, if he just sits as a backup, you can't roster these guys for 3-4 years in this format.
I agree. we have Dalton Schultz on our team, and we kind of have a lot of different handcuffs going on. Does that raise the value of Jake Ferguson? Or
Yeah, I don't mind that one either.
mhm.
Bellinger, Ferguson, yeah. And then Kate Otten is, you know, that team does not have a lot of depth at tight end. That's just Cameron Brate and Kate Otten right now.
Yeah, I'm leaning more
So
and more towards Gronk stays retired. Where are you at on that? It's like
inching that direction,
yeah,
inching that
yeah,
direction.
exactly. It's like a 0.5% every day in my mind, more towards he's not coming back.
But I always thought people should keep that more in mind.
Hmm.
You know, like people should always, in my view, have had like there's a 15 to 20% chance that this is just he's never playing again. And so then what is 15 to 20% chance Cameron Brate or Kate Otten is the starting tight end for Tom Brady? That's where you're going there.
It's juice.
With those. Yeah. So those are my UDFA calls. I think Phillips, Ford, Smith and Brooks, Bellinger, Otten, uh, Ferguson. Yeah. And and I think there are a couple of guys I would cut to add those players. Because as it stands right now, to fit everything under, we put our entire rookie class on the taxi, and so I would not like to have Pickens and Dotson on the taxi. So we need to add a couple of rookies, cut a couple of veterans, put some more developmental rookies on the taxi, and get those guys back onto our main roster. So there you go.
There's a couple cuts. We could probably just make them on the air. I would cut Simeon and Bolden. I'd probably Simeon's not worth rostering right now. Maybe he comes back, but
No, what he's is he not? He's the backup. No, I would cut. Ray Ray McLeod and
Barry's
Demarcus
gone.
Robinson.
He's going away. Bolden, you trying to hold on to him?
Uh, I mean, if you want, but I
I
think
don't want. I want him to go away.
the Josh McDaniels regime went and brought him in. He was their first free agent, um,
True. True.
and he is like that whole Patriots way is a weird thing, and that is why I am vaguely interested in holding Brandon Bolden in
Yes.
case he is the main satellite back there. I would love to hear what they tell us out of camp compared to, well, it's another Raider here, Demarcus Robinson. I look at Robinson. Let's see, it's Adams, Renfro. Well, so you think Demarcus Robinson could be the number 3 there?
That's why I drafted him. Yeah. I mean, I don't. Does that role even have value if
All
he
right.
gets it? That's the
Well,
question.
let's let you can let Brandon Bolden go.
Yeah. I mean, so you really think it's worth rostering Simeon still, like throughout the next? I hate to bring that back up, but like, I just
Yes.
okay.
For if we end up competitive and Justin Fields is missing a week because he sprained a thing,
Mhm.
you want to have 2 quarterbacks. If you had a third quarterback, you wouldn't be holding your bad cuffs.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Bolden can go. I'm down for that. Just because there are rookie RBs in the wire, I'd like to get more than him. So now we have 2 roster spots. We wanted at least 2. Um, you know, so Prochet is staying, Slayton's staying, Ricky Seals Jones is staying. Robinson would be the next one to go. Is he worth cutting? Is there a third? Is the third best guy on the waiver wire better than Demarcus Robinson right now? I guess we don't really have to make that decision. It's interesting though.
Yes, I would rather have. Yeah, I would rather have several of the top waiver players.
I think so too. I'm just gonna cut him.
Yeah,
Yeah, later.
yeah. No, I would rather have any of the guys we just mentioned.
So the waivers are busted in this league right now. They're only saying the commissioner put out a ruling to only claim guys that are actually on waivers and not FAs. So of the guys that are on waiver, it won't even let me sort by that. It's so stupid. Is there anyone really jumping out? I mean, Dimitri Felton, John Bates, Brandon Bolden, we just cut him. Lol. Noah Gray. Should Noah Gray be rostered? I know a lot of people that are in love with this guy.
No.
I don't think so either. I think you're right. Yeah, so we're not going to put in any claims right now, but I think our claims list is going to look something like, you know, Kennedy Brooks, Abram Smith, and then a bunch of tight ends competing.
What about Phillips and Ford?
Yeah, we want them too.
I want Ford more than these UDFA's, man. Ford is a 5th round pick,
Yeah, and he's a
and
Brown. Yep.
he was a better prospect to begin with.
Okay.
Um,
Who's the number one
he's the
guy you
best.
want? You think it is Ford?
Phillips.
Phillips. Okay, so it'll be Phillips, Ford, and then we got to be in
Mm-hmm.
on the.
By the way, Kyle Phillips is having had a buzzy OTA too.
That's why I keep seeing him being picked up in every league.
Yes.
If we got to be in on Brooks though with our Miles Sanders, we got to get something. I feel like we should get another
Third.
player. Get another
We
player in
got
that
3
backfield.
spots. He's third. Abram Smith fourth.
Okay, and then I'll just put in a bunch of safety tight end waiver ads for like $0 after that. Just list all the tight ends, Ruckert and
Bellinger, Ferguson first, second
sure.
because those are our cuffs.
Yep. Schultz and Ricky. Yeah,
Bellinger first because he's a better play.
yeah
Uh, I,
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
I really like that Bellinger play right now, and then Otten after that,
Yep.
and
Put
then
Ruckert after that.
you put him in whatever after that. Yeah,
Yep.
that's how I think.
That sounds good. How much fab would you spend on Phillips? How much fab do we have to work with in this league? We have 2 hundo. So probably I'd throw 10% at Phillips. 20 bucks? More or less? Where you at?
I
I
think
don't value
I think
fab very highly. I try to end the season with no fab. I try to
uh,
spend my fab.
I don't overspend. I think you could. Yeah, I don't mind spending $20 on the top 3 guys on our list. I don't mind that.
Okay. That's what we'll do. I can't actually issue the claim on the air, but that's what we're going to do. And we'll check back in later. We kept this one under a half hour. Do you have any closing thoughts, sir?
No, sir.
All right. Hey, thank you for tuning in, friends. Next video we got coming out is a quarterback landscape review, and then I got a really nice draft breakdown coming up I'm working on, and I'm really excited to put that together on the Louisiana Sports League. So thanks for tuning in. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave some comments, talk about our rookie draft, hit me up in the DMs, ask about trades, ask about draft picks. I love helping out the community. Have a good night, all my first round picks.